we had a great agent, Patrick Weitzel, young, didn't have client, just starting out, was like, fuck it, like the script. And we said, but we got to be in it. And everybody else was like, that's not, what I mean? He was like, all right, okay. And it wasn't like you're crazy or that's not gonna happen.
His energy matched the same level of ignorance that yours did in the beginning of not realizing the consequence.
It was like ridiculous.
Yes.
So we went out and auctioned this fucking thing off to where one bidder, and we were living, I had moved in with this woman we moved out of our house in Eagle Rock, and I was gonna move in with this girl, and I moved in with her, and Matt and my other buddy got another apartment, and now I think I was there for 3 days, and we broke up. And I was like, yo, man, I gotta go back.
I'm coming over there.
He's like, you got a couch. I started sleeping on a Naugahyde couch was Curson in West Hollywood. And there was 3 of us in a 2-bedroom little thing. And I'll never forget it. Our agent was like, no, someone wants to buy the script, somebody else. And then it turned into this crazy, surreal thing where somebody's up for $100,000. And then they're like, hey, they want to meet you because you guys want to be in it. So we started going around and having like meetings where all of a sudden you got onto the studio and lets you in the gates and you go in the fancy offices.
Now you're seeing the other side.
And I was like, oh shit, this is the real thing. Paramount, Warner Brothers, all these places that were like, at most you park in the lot, walk over, read your scene. And we started meeting all these people and they all one after another. And we benefited from the fact that Hollywood is it's like, oh, this is the hot thing. Well, then let's go after that. And there was some original stuff in the script, I think, and there was just a time when people were taking a risk on those spec sale things. Yeah. I don't think any of them want us to be in the movie. They all were gonna buy it to get rid of us somehow. But when it got to be more and more and more interest and money, we started telling our agents, no, you gotta there's gonna be a penalty if you get rid of them. And then it was, no, they gotta shoot for a week. And it was like, because we knew they'd wanna fire us. Yeah. There was no question. And then when we finally sold it, we sold the script for $650,000.
At a time where selling specs was so cool, but the number attached to a spec was significantly small.
$650 against, and that was, we split it. It's $325 each.
Yeah.
Me and him both bought new Jeep Grand Cherokee Limiteds.
Yeah. By the way, first thing.
Right away.
That's what you gotta get.
Check. When can I get my Jeep?
Hey, you gonna go get the Cherokee? Goddamn right.
Then we had to flip for colors.
Yeah.
Because we both wanted black.
Yeah, we can't both get black.
No, it was one had to get green because that was too much his and his.
By the way.
I'm like, is it his and his or is it black and green?
Getting off the couch, not the priority.
No.
The
I had the car before I got off the couch. I had the car before the apartment. Then we wanted to rent like a dope house in the Hollywood Hills. We had no credit. But they had run this story in Variety. We had been on the cover, I think, of Variety. It was like, hey, these 2 knuckleheads like sell this script and they're gonna be in it.
So good.
So to get the lease,
So
we had to go into the landlord and bring it. We were like, we don't have credit, but we have this. We show them the cover of Variety. We got $650. We can pay for this lease. Lived right up at the Hollywood Bowl in this like, kind of like, now I'm like a little janky kind of party house, but I really thought it was the shit. All our friends from home moved out. We had like 7, 8 people living in there. Between the Cherokee and the rent, I was broke in 8 months.
Yeah, bye-bye.
And taxes.
Yeah,
I was like, wait a minute, that's $650.
First of all, taxes.
$160.
Who the fuck is taxes? That's what I said the first time I had to pay it. I said, why do I owe tax? I don't even know them. They didn't do shit for me.
I was like, taxes? What?
Yeah.
Why that much? And then it was like, yeah, it's like, so after you get your money, you gotta get 40% tax and commission. I was like, 40%, I got half to him and half to me. So once it's 40%, we're like, a little $100,000. Well, I spent $50,000 on the truck.
It's gone.
And then like the rent and being rich. Once you're rich, I was rich. I was like, I am rich. Yeah. Then I'm really done. I was like, we're rich.
Can I ask you a question? Would you change any of that, or would you do it the same way again?
No,
I would do it the same fucking way. I fucked off my first check for $250,000. Mine was on throwback jerseys and Air Force Ones.
Oh, really?
That's a true story. I think I spent $250,000 on throwback jerseys, Air Force Ones, and rental cars.
At least you have shit. I don't know where any of the money went. The rental house went back.
I don't know where them fucking jerseys at. Man, I got no idea where them jerseys at. But you wouldn't change it because the stories are worth it. Go.